Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. I'm obsessed with all things makeup, beauty and skincare, and I know here on YouTube we have a little bit of a tendency to focus very much on the newness, but I want to try and kind of evolve outside of that. So I am doing a little bit more of a shop my stash, but today I am using basically a full face of favorites because this is a get ready with me. I'm getting ready to go to a conference, give a keynote. I know it's a whole thing. And yeah, we're just going to chat and I'm going to show you some of my favorite products and yeah, just spend some time together. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then do please keep on watching. I've got a cup of tea ready for myself and I figured I'm going to relax today because I do have this conference coming up and I thought it would be nice to kind of get ready with you guys and use some of my favorite bits and pieces. A lot of this stuff is not new, like it has been in my collection for a while. Just in case you're wondering what it is that I'm doing, I'm just taking a little bit of my MAC paint pot. I like to put it out here and then I mix it with my plouise base because then I can kind of get the colour and the consistency that I want. It's a little bit of bad makeup science. But yeah, I just thought it would be nice to kind of relax. I want to look like an actual human being when I'm doing this conference this evening. I'm kind of nervous about it. Is that a bit silly to say? Probably. I mean, I've been doing these for years now, and it's quite funny to kind of think I'm at that point in my career where I get asked to like give things. Like I didn't apply to go and give a talk. I was just reached out to of like, yeah, you know about this particular topic, will you give a talk on it? And I was like, oh, okay. You can see I've mixed it here. So I'm just going to put that aside and yeah, I mean, we'll just kind of chat through things. I'm not really a big one for brows, but my gorgeous friend Tia, when she was over a few years ago, she used this on me. It's the Got to Be Glued water resistant spiking glue, and I use this all the time. I'm just putting a little bit here. Now, I will say, and I hate to be that person, but I'm going to be that person, I have very good brows, like I do. It's the one good thing that I have genetically going for me. Everything else is absolute nonsense. But I do like this product and I thought it was really funny when Schwarzkopf came out with their own, like they realized that this is what people were doing. So they then kind of did their own one of like the Got to Be Glued brow gel. I was like, no guys, I'm still gonna get the big tube because it works out cheaper. But yeah, like you can see I don't really have too much to worry about with my brows. I probably should have dermaplaned, but I'm stupid and didn't actually think of doing that. So the brows are essentially done. I know it's so complicated, and I have my little weird Frankenstein paint pot thing going on here. But yeah, I just find it so strange that I'm at that point in my career where it does feel like I'm kind of getting somewhere with it, that I am weirdly respected. And yeah, it's nice. Like, it took me a while to kind of come up with notes as to what it was that I wanted to say, but I have that done. So yeah, I mean, all I'm doing today is just kind of getting ready for it. What a year it's been. I mean, we're getting to that point where we're starting to think about the closing off of the year. I mean, you know, I'm getting older, so it means that like every year I have like a new loss or whatever. And I mean, you could look at that through a negative lens and be like, oh my God, I've gone through trauma and I've had lots of relationships and this has happened and that has happened. But I also look at it as like the things that I'm surviving through, the fact that when I've had difficult issues, it's really become clear to me who is there for me. And isn't that amazing, you know, to kind of see that people rally around you and care about you? And I don't know, it's just very very humbling, you know, to feel that you have people around you that care about you to that degree. So I have this new neutrals palette. It's from Glossgods. It is so beautiful, like it's frustratingly beautiful. And I'm just going to go into the shade Oh She Pretty, like very, very aptly named. But yeah, I would love to know like what sort of a year you guys have had. What have been some of the highs? What have been some of the lows? Have there been things that you have learned about yourself, like either good or bad? Like, you know, sometimes you might learn that maybe you're quicker to anger than you had thought, that maybe you have a shorter fuse, maybe you're not as tolerant as you thought you were. Like, these are all like ways that we can grow. There's like, nobody's perfect. You're not going to be like, no, I had a year where I realized I'm just perfection and that I do everything perfectly. Like, I know I can definitely look back and be like, okay, I definitely had moments where I needed to maybe calm a little bit, maybe think through my options rather than going straight to impulsivity. Like, I'm working on my impulsivity a little bit more, like, because I'm engaging in that reflection. Like I said, you know, you should never get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm all done, I'm finished growing, I'm perfect as I am as a person, everything's fine. Like, you should definitely be different every single year. Like, something should change about you that you should realize, like, oh, I should have done this or I should have said that. Like, that's a good thing. Try to grow. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, you know? I will also say, and I'm not even sure if I want to say it. Oh, I don't know, because I've been thinking about this quite a bit. And like, people that know me very, very well have a good idea of this. Like, I've spoken to this about the, like, I'm so nervous even talking about it that my words have gone a little bit weird. Like, very, very close friends kind of have an idea about this, and others I just haven't said it to because I'm like, oh God, is it even the case with me? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about like gender. I know, and I know that a lot of people like would perceive me as being cisgender, and that's totally fine. That's your perception. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But I suppose because I've been working a lot with people who are transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, etc., it's kind of made me engage quite a bit in my own reflexivity and kind of going, okay, where am I with things? And the more I kind of looked at things, I was like, I don't feel like I'm any one thing. I feel like I oscillate across all of these at some point. Like, again, I'm not telling you what to think or whatever. This is just, it feels correct for me, or it feels true for me. So the more I kind of engage in introspection, the more I'm like, I don't really feel like the binary cisgender label fits me. And I know that some people are like, oh, well, you know, you tend to dress femme or you do makeup or whatever, but to me that's not really what gender is. Like, gender isn't really about appearance, it's about like a feeling, like an attitude, I guess, for want of a better way of putting it. Like, it has nothing to do with my physicality. So for me, I kind of feel, again, I'm not even sure if I'm going to include this, but I feel like I'm a lot more gender diverse than I initially thought. So I've kind of been getting comfortable with that idea over the last while. Yeah, be gentle. So I'm now taking out my Lowest Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld, and I want to go into the shade Myth. I have used and abused this palette. It has gone travelling with me to quite a few places. So in the travels, I've managed to inadvertently break the mirror, because that's the person that I am, apparently. So I'm just popping that into the crease. I can't believe I said that about the gender thing. Who knows? I might admit it. I don't know. No, do you know what? Be true to yourself. Say where you are with things. Like, I'm learning that. I'm kind of trying to grow a little bit, trying to challenge myself and understand where I am with things. So yeah, I mean, that's a whole thing. We're finishing up for the semester. I've loads, like so much marking to do, and I mean, just general housework. I know, glitz and glamour over here in this house. I also have, I've gotten to all of the cats, the stray cats included, and I have managed to dose them all for fleas, ticks, worms, etc. So I'm quite happy with that. I want to see if I can get some funds together to get these stray cats neutered as well, just because, like, yes, they aren't my cats, but I want to take care of them and make sure that they're all right, you know, because I mean, I'm a little bit of a soft touch, to be fair. Like, they're not my cats, but I want to take care of them. Very silly of me, but I can't help it. I'm just a weird emotional fool, as Syl would say. Like, he looks at me and he's like, what are you even doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you spending so much money on these cats that aren't even yours? And I'm like, because they're little creatures and they need someone to love them. So yeah, that's where some of my disposable income has been going these days. Like, I've always been like a fan of like the ISPCA, the RSPCA when I was in the UK. That's actually where Cece came from. I got her through the RSPCA. Darcy also came from the ISPCA. All of the cats I've ever had have been rescue cats. I feel really, really passionately about that. I'm just a big one for like animals and animal care. And I'm now going back into the new neutrals by Glossgods, and I'm going into Center Stage. But yeah, I just wanted to do something that was relatively safe for a conference, because like I don't want them thinking I'm absolutely bonkers. You know, I want to look somewhat professional, a little bit put together, but I'm kind of enjoying it because I'm getting to use a lot of my favorites. You know, like that shade from Lotus is absolutely stunning. It's such a good palette in general. And my goodness, this new neutrals from Glossgods, I hate how much I love it. It's so good. Actually, could you let me know what's some of your like absolute ride or die favorite palettes if the house was, God forbid, on fire and for some reason you're silly enough to go back in to save eyeshadow palettes? Don't do that. Don't go back in to a burning building to save eyeshadow palettes. But we'll just say that that's what you've done. What would you actually save? I love hearing people's favorites and why they're their favorites. You know, I feel like I can learn a lot about somebody that way. Is this a complex eye look? No, but I actually don't think it would be right if I went to a conference and it was all weird and sparkly and strange. I just find I have to like dampen it down. That sounds really bad. It's like, oh, I'm dampening my sparkle, but I just feel, you know, I have to look a certain way. That's really bad, isn't it? Like, and I think that's all coming from me. I don't think that's actually coming from other people being like, no, you have to look a certain way. I think this is all like self-imposed. So I just want to blend all of these together now, make it really like chilled out, relaxed. I cannot believe we've basically gotten through 2023. And as I'm sitting down today, oh my God, I don't know if anyone else watches Brooklyn Nine-Nine or watched it because it's finished. Oh my God, the guy who played Captain Raymond Holt, his name was Andre Bergeau. Don't know if I've pronounced that correctly, but he died. He was only 61. Like, this has been such a weird year for like people passing. I don't know. I don't like it. But yeah, I was so sad to see that because I thought he was such an amazing actor. Apparently, like, he was Shakespearean trained and stuff. So, totally so sad. I do not have these eyes matching at all. Such a disgrace, I know. Anyways, oh, I don't know what I want to do. Like, do I, the shimmers in this are unreal, but I need something that's a little bit more like, oh no, I'm a real human. So I think I might go into Eurydice. It's a beautiful shade. And I'm just gonna pop that on. Maybe I'll put a little bit of the, more multi-chrome bits towards the edge. Yeah, see, that's nice. It's nice and relaxed. I didn't manage to get the eyes to match at all, but like, that's part of the course, you know? And I'm just going blending again just to try and make that a little bit more soft. Really like her shimmers and mattes, Lotus Cosmetics, I mean. Yeah, I'm so sad that there's been no releases from her. I miss that brand. So friggin' good. Like, it blends so well. I do feel like the best palette she ever came out with was that Meet Me in the Underworld. Like, it was just such a strong palette. And it was like really ahead of its time in terms of the colour story, you know, and just even just the whole idea of having an actual story behind the palette. I thought that was very, very cool. You don't have a lot of brands doing that, you know. Okay, I'm gonna go into the new neutrals, and I want to use the shade Rebel Factor, and I mean, I'm just taking a tiny bit on because I don't want to have too much. I'm just gonna pop it there and there. I mean, literally just F-O. And I'll just kind of blend there. Oh yeah, that's nice. So off camera, I just kind of cleaned that up, and I did put on some eyeliner. I used the Urban Decay, it's like the 24/7, and I used the Stila. I really enjoy that. I've made it, I did try and do like a little bit of a cat liner, not that I'm very good at those, but I was like, fuck it, let's give it a go. This is, by the way, the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I have like a little sample of it, but I have been enjoying these. Like sometimes, you know how like Cult Beauty every so often will do a thing of like, oh, if you buy X amount, here's some free samples, and I'm like, oh, fantastic. So I love when they put that in, because I'll get like a couple of wears out of it, you know, and they're brilliant for when you're traveling. I'm just popping that there. Also, I don't know if I have a bruise on my forehead. I whacked, because I'm stupid, I got a new car recently, and I whacked into the door frame of the car when getting into it, because I'm obviously not used to, it's like a taller car than my previous one. Look at that tack. And by that I mean like the primer, not that I myself am tacky. I mean, I am, but like that wasn't what I was getting at. Yeah, so I managed to whack my head because I have very, very poor proprioception. So I'll be able to tell you where everything is, but I will just bump into it anyways. So I'm just constantly like covered in bruises. Like I have another one here. Yeah, just here where I was taking the coal out of the coal bunker, and I apparently just like my arm slipped between where the edge of the coal bunker was and the actual bag, and I cut the skin. So it's very annoying because I do bruise like an absolute peach and also like an absolute beach. So my skin is a little bit better at the moment. I have been using a lot of retinol, hence all of the like spots coming out. Also, in case you're wondering why my forehead is so shiny, full disclosure, I do get Botox. I know, I'm terrible. So it does make your forehead kind of extra shiny. It's just what it does. So I'm just gonna take my NARS concealer. I really enjoy it. I always have this like little bit here. It's called Angular Cheilitis. I know, too much information, Teresa. But basically it's just like a whole bunch of dry skin. So it's great. It doesn't matter how much kind of moisturizer and bits and pieces I seem to put onto it. It's just like, no, we will not get moisturized. I will say though, I have been so good with my skincare. It's been so consistent. And I'm not always good at remembering these sort of things because I'm not great with self-care. Like I will forget to do things. So I'm quite pleased with myself for actually keeping on top of it. So yay me. Somebody give me a little bit of reinforcement for that. Hurrah. Does anyone else struggle with that, or is it just me? Maybe it's just me, but I do forget. I do forget to take care of myself properly. Whoopsies. So I just want to pat that in because otherwise it kind of ends up like bubbling through or something. I don't even know if that's the correct term, but there you go. It's just, it kind of looks then kind of weird and cakey, and that's not what I want. I don't tend to go for full coverage. I don't like it. I feel like it looks weird on me because yes, my skin is in okay condition, all things considered, but like I don't want to point out all the things that are wrong with it, you know. I'm using my favorite concealer. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. It's very, very pale. I think it's the lightest shade, and even on me it looks really pale, so I'm just taking that much. I'm not using any more than that. It is totally unnecessary because it has a good level of coverage. Really wanted to say coverage there. I have this Zoeva buffer brush. It is fantastic. It's like a buffer concealer, and I'm just tapping it into the skin there, and I will let it settle for a little bit. Do you see what I mean? Like it's white. It is white, so it's kind of perfect for me. I love it. It's pretty too white for me, but I don't care. Once it all kind of meshes in with everything, it looks really quite good, in my opinion. But what would I know? F all. What are your favourite concealers? I know I've asked you this before, but I like knowing these things because I'm nosy and I will look for any sort of an excuse to go and get things for myself. Not that I need them. I'm just ridiculous. I'm just popping that there, working it in. I feel like I did okay with like the eyeliner and getting it on the inner corner. I really struggle with that because I'm very blinky. Such a lovely characteristic for me to have. And then I'm just gonna tap it in. I know. You learn so many technical skills here. I'm joking, by the way, in case you can't tell, 'tis the sarcasm. I say this because I'm not good at picking up on sarcasm. 'Tis the autism. And the amount of times I've taken shit seriously when it wasn't actually serious, and I'm like, oh my god. So myself and my friend Daniela, we tend to like send each other messages of like, what do you think somebody meant by this? What's happening here? And I swear to God, it's such like a lifeline. It's nice for me to kind of meet other people who don't always get things in the same way. Like I usually run things past my friends or my parents or my partner or whatever to kind of be like, what's the story with this? Am I reading this correctly? Because I will misinterpret situations. I now have my foundation and this is my favorite. It's the Dior. It's the Forever Undercover 24-hour full coverage. Yeah, I used this on my wedding day. I don't have that much left, I think. Anyways, we'll spread it out there. I like to pop it onto this because that way I can work it into the brush. Just makes it a bit easier, you know? And the brush that I have been, and I mean obsessing over, is this my Kitco. It's the Flexi Face Large. My friend Daniela kind of like let me know about it. But for ages, by the way, can I just say there's like a logo on my Kitco. And I'm just working it into the brush. Because I'm Catholic, or I was raised Catholic, the way that I saw the logo, I thought it was a bishop. It's not. It's just like an actual brush. And I said this to Tanya and I was like, I thought I only realised today that it's this. And she was like, oh my god, what the hell? So yeah, it's all about perception, I guess. You'll see that this gives, I don't know if it's necessarily full coverage. I'm kind of like, Dior, I think you might be telling a little bit of a fibby boo. All that being said though, I like it for me. I mean, it works. It gives me the sort of coverage that I like. Because as I have said many a time before, I don't like full coverage. You know, I'm afraid of a cake face, you know. I love cake, but just not on my face. It's just so beautiful. It is very much like your skin, but better. And I hate saying that. I do. I hate saying that. Because it's such a goddamn cliche. But it is pretty much one of my favourite foundations. I think it might be my favourite. It's, I don't know if you guys want to have like a favourites of 2023 of like the new stuff I've tried in 2023. But I definitely have some newer ones that I do enjoy, but I wanted to take out like a staple one because I think, you know, YouTube focuses a little bit too much on the new. You know, sometimes it's nice to take out the old. I'm going to try and make it look like I have cheekbones. I mean, look at this. I don't have much of it left. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the contour stick in mink. I use this like all the time. It's so good. It's a proper contour, like actual grey tones. And I'm just going to work it in to my Spectrum brush. And just hope that I don't look too weird. I will say though, if you're a bit nervous, you can just mesh it with your foundation to kind of make it a little bit more gentle. Yeah, I don't want to go in too much. I fucking love that foundation. Like, you can't tell me that that isn't beautiful. Like, it's so pretty. And you wouldn't kind of go, oh my god, she has foundation on. Like, it's not like a foundation. Wilma, for example, you're not going to like it. It's not going to give you what you need. Not that you're ever going to go off and buy a Dior foundation. Wilma's like, wait, why do you think I would buy a Dior foundation? I know you will, Mug. Can you imagine a drag queen going off and buying fucking Dior foundation? That would be ridiculous with the amount of product that you have to use. You would be skint within a month. That would be insane. I don't know why I'm putting contour up here. That's silly. That's not how shadows work. Let's try and pretend that I have big lips, shall we? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm being really weird and being like, oh my god, I'm feeling myself. Don't feel yourself, Teresa. That's weird and creepy. Don't do that. So I'm being a little bit naughty here. This isn't like an older product. It's a newer one to me, but I really enjoy it. It's the Plouise kind of cream liquidy bronzer, and I got it in the shade Honey Hug. It did come in one of the subscription boxes. But you know what? I like it. And I'm just working it into my Artitude Cosmetics brush. Do you know what I find interesting though? This is not like the lightest bronzer that they have. They went really, really light with it. Like, kudos. And they went very deep as well. I don't always love Plouise. Like, I'm willing to kind of be like, oh, you're being silly when they're being silly. Sorry, I just had like an eye pencil just run around there. Ooh, look at that. Bit of warmth. But I'll also give them credit where credit is due. I think they did really, really well on this, you know? Have I put too much on? Who knows? But let's just pretend I'm actually bronzed. My goodness, they're going to get a really specific idea of me at this conference, aren't they? My goodness. And now it's time for blush. And this is a proper old one in my collection. I've had this because it's been a long time since I did a colourpop order. I've had this for a really long time. It's their Super Shock blush. It's in the shade Prenup. It's really pretty, really pink. Can you tell I like this? I've used this quite a bit. Now I'm taking this on as a waver brush. It does pick up a lot of pigment. So what I'm doing is first just tapping it out on my hand so that it's not like going to be crazy on my face. See? It's so pretty. I mean, considering I've had this for, oh Jesus, maybe, I'm gonna say about maybe 4 years. I know that's awful, isn't it? I shouldn't have a product that long, but it's still fucking working, lads. It's still working. Considering I've had it this long, look at that. It's beautiful. I don't even know if they still sell this shade. It's been, I mean, a million years since I bought anything from Colourpop. Although I'm kind of interested in maybe getting some of their like lip liners or something. I'm currently going through a lip liner phase. Who knew? And now time for the other cheek. I wonder, should I put some blush onto my nose? No, leave your nose alone, Teresa. Sometimes I do that. And then sometimes it looks good. And then sometimes it does not. I'm kind of a bit nervous about doing my lips. Not that I don't like the products. I fucking love the products that I'm using. It's just that my lips, because it's winter, are very dry. And that is me using lip masks, lip conditioners, all of these things. I'm just having a time of it. But I mean, who isn't? Like, you know, come on, Teresa, now get over yourself. So I have this number 7. It's like a pressed setting powder. Yeah, it's the Perfect Light pressed powder in translucent. And this was before they changed the formula. And I don't like the new formula change. But oh my God. Like, I like this. Can you tell? I've used this to absolute death. It's not going to be around for that much longer, I'm afraid, so I'm going to have to dip into other pressed powders, but I love it for under the eyes. It's so good for here. Like my under eyes, I'm going to be weird. I think my under eyes look pretty good. You know, they don't look bad at all. Or am I being weird? I think they look pretty good. Love this powder. God damn it. I don't know why they change formulas. But can I say, you never hear much about number 7. You really don't. I don't think it's anything to do with their quality. Like, I think their quality is pretty good. But they just don't do, like, sexy items, you know? Okay. So, what will I do next? Sometimes I change it up. Sometimes I do powder first and then I do, like, my powder products. I don't know, maybe Yeah, I'll do powder first, just, and I don't want to use too much. It's the Ciate one, which came with the Robert Welsh collection, which by the way, I really loved. Really, really loved. I thought it was fantastic. So I'm just gonna put a little bit here. I don't want to put any here because I have a lot of texture and it's just gonna pick up on that. But I just want to set a little bit of something down there. And I mean, I'm just vaguely powdering there, just so I have a little something for there. And speaking of that Ciate collection, this particular palette came with it. It's the chocolate palette, and this shade is amazing for contour. It's so good. So I'm just picking up a little bit of that on my Artitude brush, which by the way, I love the Artitude brushes, and we're just going to try and make me look snatched. That's right, we're going to try. You do this. I'm really leaving poor Ciate London a lot of hard work. But I believe in you, Ciate. I feel like you can do it. But I do like to use this as a contour. And actually, in the summer, I was speaking in the Oireachtas, which is sort of like our government, like our House of Parliament, I guess is the way that you look at it. And I obviously wanted to make myself look like a human, so I used this eyeshadow palette. So you can find me online speaking at the Oireachtas, and the makeup that I'm wearing is this one. So there you go. I do enjoy it. Let's pretend that I have an actual neck and chin. It's a whole thing. I just had to go and answer the door. I was looking at my eye look and I was like, okay, there's a little bit of shimmer in there, but I kind of wanted a little bit of something else. And I know I'm stupid because I put down eyeliner. I'm gonna ruin this. I'm so stupid. This is the Lowest Cosmetics shade in Regal. And I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that onto an acrylic, sort of a flat lay like this. And I'm just taking a little brush because I just want to coat ever so slightly. I mean, I'm so cool. Look at me putting my glasses up like that. There we go. Oh, there we go. And I love the Lowest Cosmetics shimmery shadows. They're so good. Like I said, I didn't want it to be too much. This is so pretty. Pop it there. It's okay, I can always redo my eyeliner. It is not a big deal. Oh, just getting that little sparkles of gold. Yeah. There we go. I feel like that really added something to it. I'm going to add a little bit extra eyeliner. Just because I feel like I lost a little bit of that along the way and it's not as like black as my soul. But I can't even see me applying this, but sure, who cares? Next, I'm going to use a powder bronzer, and this is my Hourglass one. I've had this forever, and I mean forever. This is the Luminous Bronze Light, and I actually used this on my wedding day. That is how much I trust it. It's so nice. Like I said, I'm using a lot of stuff, actually weirdly, that was used on my wedding day. Isn't that quite funny? Is that? I don't know. Is it funny? I don't know. I don't understand humour. It's all very confusing. I have managed to make my forehead less shiny though. Isn't that great? Anyone else get Botox and just thinks it's so funny that their forehead is so shiny? Like when I put on moisturiser and stuff, I'm like, oh my goodness. I look bizarre. That's one of the like negative things. So I don't care. The fabulous thing about Botox for me is that it really helps me. I get horrible headaches. I think because I don't sleep well. I'm constantly stressed about something. And normally it's not something worth stressing about, you know, but you know, generalized anxiety disorder. And then, you know, I work a lot with like on the laptop. So I think just being exposed to all of that kind of hurts my eyes, hurts my head, and I find that with the Botox I just don't get those same headaches, which is great for me. And now for blush, I have this Benefit and it's in the shade Willa. I absolutely love this. Again, used this on my wedding day. So these are all firm favourites. Look at that. And that was with tapping it off. My goodness. I love you, Willa. I love you. It's just really, really nice for my complexion, I think. I mean, I feel like that's, like, these are some of Benefit's best products, right? They're blushes. Like, they're so good. Tell me you don't agree, because I think they're fantastic. Does it look a bit manic? Yes, but I will have my fringe down, so it's not going to be as whatever. We're okay. We're okay. That's what I'm telling myself. Everything will be fine. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a favourite mascara, because I don't have a favourite mascara. Personally find that mascaras are a bit like, heh, don't care. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. It's fine. I just kind of use up what mascara I have until I have to get a new one. I replace them every 3 months. I have longer bottom lashes than I have top lashes. Like, it's by no means a bad mascara. Like, I just personally don't get excited about mascara. And then I'm just using a finishing powder because apparently I'm just being a bit extra at the moment. This is the Hourglass one. It's from like a Christmas thing 5 million years ago, and I'm gonna use this shade here because F it, why not? Just kind of pop it all over. Disperse things. Probably putting too much powder on, but sure, whatever. It's fine. Do you think this will convince the people at the conference that I know what I'm talking about? Isn't it funny? Like, I've been in this field for, I don't even want to say how many years because it's a long time, but I still have such imposter syndrome. It's nuts. But imposter syndrome does affect women more than it does men, so there is that. I mean, that blush up there is looking a bit manic, so we'll just try and buff that out a little bit more. Like I said, it will get lost behind the fringe, so I'm not that bothered about it, but still. Obviously don't care that much. I'm just using this like Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel, just because like obviously some powder would have gotten in here, and I want to take away that like white grey sort of a look. And then I want to be weird. I want to use this. It's the Too Faced Killer Liner. I really like this one. It's the shade Sapphire. I never remember the name of it, but there you go. And I just want to put that into the waterline. And by the way, I'm just using this spoolie to get rid of a couple of little marks from mascara that kind of transferred. I just find that's the best way to get rid of that. We're basically at the end now. I just have setting spray and obviously a little bit of highlighter and lipstick, etc. to go. I have this setting spray. I mean, it's almost gone. It's the Pixie Glow Mist. Yeah. Fantastic at making sure that your like makeup doesn't look super, super flat. And then I have the Milk Hydro Grip. Now this is newer to me, but I have been enjoying it. I will say a much more aggressive sprayer. And I have my trusted fan. Now you've noticed, I would say that I haven't put on any highlighter yet. This is the highlighter I'm going with. It came with the Ciate London Robert Welch thing. I know, I've said this. This is the third item that I've gotten from that I absolutely adored. It's the Dew Sticks. And this is just perfect for like a really, really subtle sort of a highlight, because I don't want to be sitting like looking weird and way too glowy for a professional event. That would be strange. This is perfect for that, you know. Oh, it's so pretty. Really, really like this. Honest God, and I would have never gotten this if it wasn't for like the Robert Welch kind of collab. He was really onto something. Like, he knows what he's talking about. Damn him and his knowledge. Damn people knowing things that I don't know. But yeah, that is super, super pretty. Okay, now it's just time for the lips. I'm taking this Beauty Bay lip liner. It's in the shade Heart. And I realise it looks a little bit weird. I'm now taking this Artitude Cosmetics lipstick, and it's in the shade Phoenix. I again wore this on my wedding day. Love this. Anyways, that's essentially it. I just have to put on some lashes. These are the Amazon ones. I absolutely love them. My friend Daniela gave them to me. But I am going to feck off and just try and make myself look a little bit more presentable and then come back to you guys. So I finished everything off. I put on some lashes and I attempted to do my hair. It's not really playing ball with me. It is what it is. I need to cut my fringe and I need to have a shower. Ugh. Anyways, it's a whole thing. But I feel like my base makeup, my face, everything looks pretty darn good. Yes, I have spots. So that's going to kind of bring up a little bit of texture. But all things considered, I feel like it's all come together really, really nicely. And that's because it was a full face of essentially my favorites. Is there any of these that you like as well that are like in your top 5 maybe? Yeah, anyways, that is it. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to do in terms of shop my stash. I want to do that a little bit more frequently. But my gorgeous friends, that's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. And do please share, because sharing is caring, except of course for STDs, in which case, just wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.